Am I the bad guy for not helping my wife's sister and husband move into their new home? My wife's youngest sister and her husband recently have twin boys. They're 5 months old. They're currently living in the husband's parents' basement, which is obviously not a good living arrangement for anyone involved. With the help of my wife's parents, they purchased their first home and closed on it last week. Without my knowledge, my wife not only volunteered the use of my truck and trailer, but also my time to help sister-in-law and her family move this coming weekend. When she told me about it, I told her I don't want to spend my time this weekend helping someone move. She asked me what I plan on doing this weekend that will prevent me from helping, and I told her the truth. Absolutely nothing. I work construction, and the last thing I want to do after doing manual labor all week is to do more manual labor on the weekend. Sure, I will probably mow the lawn and putz around on a few other yard work projects. But I also want to get together with friends and enjoy a long weekend. The house sister-in-law and her husband are moving to is about 45 minutes from where they are living now, and husband's present house in an hour from where we live. My wife is convinced that we can do it all in one trip if we use my truck and trailer, and that's it won't take all day. I'm not that optimistic, and I'm fully aware that moving never goes as smoothly as you think it will. I also don't doubt for a second that I'm going to be one of the people to do most of the heavy lifting. I'm not trying to be sexist or anything, but I don't think my wife or sister-in-law are going to be moving any dressers or couches. I told my wife she's free to take my truck and trailer and help them, but I'm not doing it. She said she doesn't know how to drive with a trailer, and that I'm the only one who's comfortable doing that sort of thing. She said her sister needs help with this, and we are in a position to help her, so we should do it. She said that she doesn't want to feel like she can never ask her sister for help if we need it. Not to sound arrogant, but I can't really foresee many situations where we will need sister-in-law's help. My wife and I don't have kids. We are financially stable and we live comfortably within our means. Yes, I understand. Emergencies happen. But moving out of your parents' basement isn't an emergency. Also, sister-in-law has already a substantial amount of help from her parents and her in-laws. At some point, you have to stop holding their hands every step of the way and let them figure it out on their own. I understand that have 2 babies and move it is stressful, but I don't want to spend an entire weekend doing all the heavy lifting. My wife is mad at me for refusing to help and said that sister-in-law is already banking on using my truck and trailer. I tell her that's not my problem because I never agreed to do it. Yes, it's kind of bad move, but they're adults. They will figure it out. Am I the bad guy for making a face when my best friend told me she wishes her husband Kat's dad? May is my bestie, and she got married 2 years. She confided in me her clocks are ticking and ready to have lots of babies. Her husband is twice her age and has already retired. She wants to have kids ASAP and become a stay-at-home mom. Her hobby is a big cat lover, and it's now to spoil his cats rotten. He calls his cats his babies. Once he paid a local famous photographer to photograph he and his cats, and he sent in picture to a Pet Enthusiast magazine. He was named as Cat Father of the Year. May was upset that he spent so much money on the cats. 2 months ago, May was diagnosed with some kind of tumors in her uterus and had to have her uterus removed. I visited her in the hospital. She was seemingly upset and she blamed the cats. She told me she wished they were dead. I guess I made a face and she noticed. She screamed at me and told me to leave. Later I tried to call her and apologize, but she wouldn't answer my call. The next day she blocked me from her Facebook and Instagram. She also told her mother and our mutual friends that I was a terrible woman. And I didn't understand how much mothers are willing to give up for their kids. Her mother told my mother that I'm a bad woman. Some friends are mad at me, but if you are curious what really happened, they know May and I are good friends. I didn't tell them what May said. I'm a pet lover. On one hand, I feel sorry for May. On the other hand, I'm scared for the cats. I didn't tell her family and her friends what she said. My mom told me I should have agreed with me because being a mother is the epitome dream of women. My mother knows I'm a child free and she tried to persuade me again to have kids. My boyfriend told me I didn't do anything wrong and I should just cut May off, which I am unwilling to do. I'm planning to go visit May and announce it and apologize. I'm at the beggar for not agree with May. I thought I didn't do anything wrong, but I remembered the animosity I felt when May talked about the cats. I also remember how much she cried. I felt very terrible. I didn't know what right thing to say or do. So I'm at the bad guy here. And how should I apologize? I'm at the bad guy for not celebrating Mother's Day with my girlfriend. My girlfriend and I have been dating for nearly a year. She has a daughter from a previous relationship. We don't live together. So we were together the day prior to Mother's Day, and I stayed over to sleep at her house. The next morning, we had breakfast together. I didn't wish her a happy Mother's Day because I thought it wasn't my thing to say, since she's not my mom. Her daughter made her a card, and then I helped her make breakfast for her mom, waffles and some juice. During breakfast, she told me they were going to go visit her mother, and then they had tickets for a play or something like that. I didn't get the idea she was inviting me at all. I left after breakfast to my apartment, so I went to my mom's house since my siblings and I were going to have a barbecue for her to celebrate Mother's Day. I stayed over till it was late, and as I wasn't able to charge my phone's battery the night before, I forgot my charger at my apartment. I was charging it inside, and I didn't have it with me. Around 6 or 7 p.m., I go check my phone, and I have like a million of missed calls from my girlfriend and texts asking me where I'm at. I called her, but she declined and texted she cannot talk now. So I replied, I'm at my mom's, what's up? But she didn't reply, so I left it at that. I went to my apartment late because I hang out with friends after that. The next day, I texted my girlfriend and she didn't reply again, so after work, I went to go see her at her house. She yelled at me and told me she has been waiting for me to go to the play the day before, and I left her alone without even answering her calls. I told her I thought she was going to spend the day with her daughter. She said she wanted to spend it with both of us, and she had tickets for me too. She is being cold with me these days over this. Yeah, my girlfriend says she did tell me in the morning about the play, and she had tickets for me. I was sleepy, so I don't remember honestly, but she swears she did tell me. So I'm at the bad guy here. I'm at the bad guy for not making my 2-year-old say please. My parents-in-law, who I absolutely love, watch her toddler often, so it's something they ask us to do at least once a week. She's the only grandchild on this side, and my in-laws live less than 10 minutes away. 99% of the time, this is a lovely arrangement for everyone involved. They love to spoil my daughter loves the attention, and we love the break. A problem has arisen recently through about my daughter's boundaries. My husband and I have been very firm about everyone listening to my daughters when she says no about something to do with her body. No kisses, hugs, whatever. We noticed my mother-in-law in particular was no longer listening when my daughter refused kisses and hugs. This is probably because it was only recently that she was regularly saying no to love from my in-laws. So last week, we gave the whole family a heads up that toddler was rejecting love more often lately, and remind her that she was to be listened to about her body unless it was a safety health issue. Everyone agreed, and we went out of town for a week. Well, the in-laws wanted to see the toddler after we got back, and that's when things got messy. See, in the week we had been gone, my toddler had picked up 2 new phrases to tell us no. Go away and leave me alone. My daughter is quite articulate for her age. So these phrases were funny but not shocking to her father and me. Unfortunately, my mother-in-law did not find it funny. When we were picking her up last night, all my little girl wanted was mommy and daddy. When asked if she wanted to give kisses goodbye to her grandparents, she told them to leave her alone. Haven't heard her say this all last week. I threw nothing of it. I simply told my in-laws not to feel bad and that she was saying that to everyone right now. But this morning, I was greeting my alone term from my in-laws asking my husband and I to teach my toddler manners. And that if she was going to say things like, leave me alone, she needed to add phrase, please, at the end. I was shocked and upset, both at the insinuation that we don't attempt to teach our daughter nice words, and at the insistence that 2-year-old needed to say please all the time. As far as I'm aware, most of the children my daughter age yell and hit and cry when they are tired and want to be left alone. I was baffled that my in-laws were insisting she say please to them. I sent them a long text back, nicely, conveying what I felt about their expectation for our 2-year-old, and that let them know that we do ask her to say please often, but that we don't expect her to pick up things behavior for a long time. So I'm the bad guy for not expecting my 2-year-old to be polite when she's tired. The only reason I'm not sure is because my husband thought nothing of their text. Though it was a reasonable request, and maybe I'm just being a mama bear or cuddling her or something. And maybe a lot of people missing the part when I said that we do ask my daughter to say please and thank you. We just don't expect her to do it naturally without being reminded by any adult. And I simply didn't ask her to do it last night because it was past her bedtime and she was on the verge of a meltdown. I was just trying to get her home ASAP. And also, you might think that I think it's funny when my daughter says go away or leave me please. Nope. We thought it was funny that she picked up those phrases. We have no idea where she learned them since she doesn't go to daycare. We thought it was unexpected and therefore funny. Like, haha, where did she learn that? Obviously, it hurt our feelings the first time she told us go away. And we imperfect parents remember to ask her to say please about 60% of the time. But we also adults and realize she's just using a phrase she doesn't quite understand to convey that she wants to not to be touched or allowed to be grumpy for a few minutes. Or even she's trying to poop and needs privacy, but I still need your comments. So, what do you think? I'm the bad guy for turning off my neighbor's noisy alarm one morning. I'm a single woman living in a small apartment complex in the city. I work from home, and one of my favorite things about my job is that I get to sleep in a bit later than most people. Or at least I used to. About 2 months ago, a new neighbor moved into the apartment right next door. He seems like a decent guy, but he leaves for work super early in the morning, and his alarm clock is extremely loud. I mean, I can hear it through the walls, and it goes off for a solid 30 minutes before he shuts off. It's not a typical beeping alarm either, but one of those incredibly obnoxious alarm sounds that means to mimic a rooster crowing. At first I tried to ignore it and go back to sleep, but it has started affecting my sleep and, subsequently, my work performance. I've tried talking to him about it a few times, but he insists he's a heavy sleeper and needs the alarm to wake up. I started sleeping with earplugs and white noise, and that has mostly helped. Fast forward to this week. I had a really important job interview that I was stressing and preparing for, because I'm trying to land a better job. I went to sleep and completely forgot to put in my earplugs. 3:30 rolls around and the alarm stops. Now, our apartment is wired in a really strange way, where apparently both our bedroom outlets are tied to the breaker in my apartment. They share a wall, so I guess it makes sense. I needed to get back to sleep. So just this one time, I went over and flipped the breaker to cut the power, then turn it back on, killing the alarm. I feel like I might be the bad guy here because it is his alarm and his apartment, but at that same time, I need my sleep. And it's incredibly rude and inconsiderate of him to not care about the rest of the people living in the complex. He sent me texts asking about it because clearly the power went out there, but not in the rest of his apartment. I haven't responded yet. So, I'm the bad guy here. I'm the bad guy for saying this isn't working for me. My boyfriend has been going through a rough patch. in his life recently, and communication from his end has been minimal. I've been doing my best to be supportive and check in with him via text, phone, call, but I get maybe a few words in response. I've tried to talk to him about lighter topics too, such as a dog I saw on my run, silly Instagram reels, etc. But he doesn't really respond to those things either. The little bits of information I get from him are conflicting. He will say he's not doing well, but follow it up with a joke or immediately send me a Snapchat of him having fun and smiling, laughing. I feel like I don't fully understand what's going on with him. And when I ask for information or clarity, he just says that he will fill me in next time we see each other in person. Due to his chaotic schedule, we have not been able to spend time together as much as we would like had. Over the last 4 weeks, we have only seen each other once in person. He had been drinking before I arrived, and I spent our time together taking care of him, getting him food, reminding him to drink water, giving him a back rub, etc. He has expressed a desire to see me more often and say that he does not want or need space from me, but he has had to cancel last minute almost every time. I feel like my needs are not being met. I want to spend time with him and go on cute dates and get to know each other better, and this is a new relationship. We've only known each other for a couple of months and have been exclusive for 6 weeks. I've tried to tell him about this via text, phone call multiple times, but he just doesn't respond or is dismissive. Obviously, it's better conversation to be had in person, but he keeps canceling on me, so I haven't had the chance. The entire situation feels like so much stress on a brand new relationship, and I wish he would just communicate with me. Recently, I called him and aired some frustrations. I was feeling upset about the situation. I did my best to make my feelings and needs clear. I said, I'm really sad that you keep canceling on me, and I don't understand what's going on. I need you to talk to me because this isn't working for me, and I need the situation between us to change. And shortly after, ask what I can do differently and how I can support him. I admit I was feeling agitated, and my tone of voice reflected that. But I did my best to convey that I was upset about the situation, and I felt rejected. I never blamed him, and I never said that it was solely his responsibility to fix things between us. And I repeatedly asked what I could do to help or make things easier. He responded by saying, I should have picked a better moment to talk to him, and that I was being too blunt and meant. He said that me stating this isn't work for me, puts all the blame on him, and that I'm essentially telling him to fix the situation on his own because I'm upset. He latched onto that phrase that I said and keeps saying that I should have been kinder and said my thoughts differently. I feel so dejected. I've been trying my best to be patient and understanding with him, and I've been asking him so many times what he needs and what I can do to help. Every time I ask, he says there is nothing I can do. I don't understand what's going on with him, and I don't know what he needs. So I'm at the bad guy for saying this isn't working for me. I'm at the bad guy for not wanting to answer questions about my wife's weight when she knows she's overweight. Looking to understand if I'm just thinking like a bad guy. My wife is overweight and has just started trying to lose weight. I do my best to support her without making her feel bad about it either way. She has started to pay more attention on portion sizes, calories, etc. And I think she's doing a great job. Here is the thing. She's very insecure about her body. Regardless of what I say, I give her compliments about her appearance, but then she asks very pointed questions. Do you think I look good at this size? Do you like my body type? And etc. Trying to get validation to her current weight, even though she knows she should lose weight. This started happening way before she started her weight loss journey. As a guy, obviously, I know the correct answer to these types of questions. If I want to maintain my marriage, I've never said anything cruel or indicative of her current weight not being okay. I am fine with the way she looks, but I will admit her that it will be nice when she gets to a healthy weight. So please help me out. Am I the bad guy for not really wanting to answer these pointed questions?